Everyone, and welcome to Everything Psychic with Gayle and Mary. I am Reverend Mary Hawk, and Gayle Tracy Mole will be joining me in studios shortly. I hope everyone is having a great evening. We are just experiencing a few technical difficulties here. So please bear with us. Hope y'all are having a great evening. And if you are in the Nashville area, I do want to invite you to join me and Ed Hubbard at the Galactic Expo Nashville at the Tennessee State Fairgrounds tomorrow. We will be covering this for Pagan World TV, and I am getting this pulled up here so I can share my screen with you. Just a moment, please. And here we are. So we'll be at the fairgrounds, 401 Wingrove Street, Nashville, Tennessee, 37203. Saturday, May 20th, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. and Sunday, May 21st, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. Tickets are $10 at the door. Parking will be $5. It is going to be a wonderful event. Here are some of the services being offered. We were there earlier getting the Pagan World TV booth set up, looking at some of the other products that people are setting up. So, again, if you are in the Nashville area, I hope you will come and check it out. That's the Galactic Expo. It's being put on by KC Metaphysical. This is a change in ownership. And I hope you will join us. Look for booth 53, Pagan World TV. Come by and say hello. We're doing interviews. Oh, good. I am going to turn this off. And here is
Hello.
Gayle. Welcome, Gayle.
Yes, technical difficulties tonight. So sorry.
Yes, we are having some technical difficulties on both ends, and we are just going to power through them like the powerful witches that we are.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so it
So,
is.
so mote it be. So, welcome everybody. This
Thanks.
is Everything Psychic with Gail and Mary. If you are watching us on YouTube or Facebook and you have a question about anything related to psychism, magic, please post it in the chat. We'll be happy to assist you. And I'm going to pull out my trusty pendulum just because I have been teaching pendulum work. As a lot of you know, I do prison ministry. And I have been teaching the women how to work with a pendulum and how to make your own. And when I was there a week ago, I was telling them that they needed basically about 6 to 8 inches of string. Hello, Diane. Thank you for joining us. And a weight at one end to be the active part of the pendulum. If you could come up with something to hold on to, like I've got this little bead here, that would be good, but that's not required. And then when I went back and saw them a week ago, they were telling me about making pendulums out of the thread they get to mend their clothes and pencil erasers.
Oh, I could see it. And I really like the little bars like you do on bracelets. You know how
Yes,
the bar that goes through the loop, and maybe that's really nice because it can go in between the fingers. Those
yes. So mine is hematite because I have always loved hematite and resonated with it. Let me get it up on the camera. And it is special to me because it is a present from a dear friend and teacher. Eh, but I want to emphasize, and Gail has frozen. I mentioned we're having technical difficulties, so we will just power through, and Gail will be back with us in a minute. Here's Gail.
I'm going in and out. I'm all of a sudden I'm talking to air. Um, what I had brought tonight, I know you're not particularly fond of them, but a lot of people do. I love oracle cards. There's some I like better than others. And I particularly like the Kali Oracle. This has been the best Oracle deck that I have ever had. And I've also got several others. So I thought that if people wanted just some off the wall kind of advice, that I would pull a card for them and we will
That
see how well it hits them.
that sounds like a plan. And it's not so much that I'm not fond of oracle decks, and maybe I haven't found my oracle deck yet, but when I have tried to read with oracle decks, it just hasn't clicked for me.
Well, I don't necessarily read.
And I think Gail has frozen again. So while we're waiting on Gail to come back, if you have a question for Gail, go ahead and post it in the chat. And I'll just go back to mentioning that, pendulums are great, and a lot of people do have pretty ones made out of different stones and crystals, and that's always fun for us to work with. But that is truly not necessary. All you really need is a string and a weight. And Gail is back with us, I think. Are you there, Gail?
I am, and my phone finally popped up our viewing thing, but I think it's just not going to work. So we're going to struggle along with this.
All righty. So if anyone's watching, if you've got a question for Gail, go ahead and post it.
And hopefully I will eventually get to answer you.
So
But
what do you like about that deck?
these have just been really wonderful. And what I really like about them, I use them at the end of a reading, and they give that one, like, final message, that one piece of advice that sort of ties it all together. So I don't sit and try and do a reading with oracle decks. I use them sort of as an ancillary, that last little pop of information.
Okay. Hi, Caredware. Good to see you again, my friend. Caredware and I were reading together last night on Tarot Thursday, and I think Gail has frozen again on my end on the controls. It's showing her internet connection is very weak. So we will continue to chat a little bit, and Gail will be back with us as soon as she can. Samantha, thank you so much for joining us. And here's Gail.
Yeah. And I see Samantha just joined us as well. Hey.
So if anyone's got a question for Gail, go ahead and post it right quick.
Yes, yes. And if I have to, I don't think I can just answer in chat. So, but let's see if we can get some advice about this bad internet connection in the meantime and what that's meaning for us.
Right, you pull a card, I'll
Yeah,
guess
that's what
the
I was thinking.
pendulum.
No.
Is there anything we can do to fix the internet connection?
You know what? Everybody that's out there can send energy to it holding, and that does make a difference. Oh, and your pendulum like that.
Yes, the pendulum agrees. Everyone who's watching, send energy for Gayle's internet connection to hold. Keep that energy coming. I think Gayle froze. She did. I'm showing a very low connection on her end. So come on. Good internet. Good internet. Thank you so much, Jenny. Good to see you. And thank you, everyone who is watching. Gayle will be back with us. Here's Gayle.
Yes, yes. Hang on. So, hello. Sending good
Thank you,
vibes.
Carol.
Thank you.
And I just lost Gayle completely. She dropped off the connection. Hopefully, she will be back in a minute. Cared where? Tell Nimue hello for me. Well, if anyone would like to post their date of birth in the chat, I can do some numerology based on your date of birth. I can also do a yes and or no question for you with my pendulum here. And if anyone wants to talk about their favorite form of divination, I would love to see that. All right, so we have got Samantha's, and let me get my calculator up here on my phone. Fun fact, is there anyone my age at to anyone my age to can remember your teacher telling you, hey, you're not going to have a phone or a calculator with you all the time? Well, guess what? We do.
And I did
And
something to my
well,
screen, so
I
hopefully it'll stay.
hopefully it's going to stay while I am calculating for Samantha. Does anyone have a question for Gayle or pull a
Want to
card
hear
for
what I pulled
Samantha?
for myself just now? I'm not, let's see, mm, I'm not seeing your questions and people. Hopefully it catches up. It's time to realize the true nature of certain life circumstances. Be grateful for what you have learned, but see things for what they are rather than what you wish them to be. You shall be able to recognize, process, and prosper from the truth, and do not need to fear the revelations that are unfolding. Boy, we're talking about our world at the moment, aren't we?
Yes, we are. Yes, we are. And I think Gail froze again, but she's going to unfreeze again here in just a second. So, Samantha, your life path, the sum of all the numbers in your date of birth is a 5. So 5 energy it's an interesting energy. I have a 5 for my personality. And here's Gail for my personality number. The 5 energy, it can be a chaotic energy. It's the energy of thinking outside the box. It can be a very rebellious energy. So, with this energy, you have the ability to find new solutions to old problems, to be able to look at things in a new way. The downside is you can sometimes be tempted to rebel for the sake of rebelling. Now, there's a lot going on in the world today that needs to be rebelled against, but you need to be rebelling for a reason. Now, your date of birth or the month of your birth, 12, you add those up, you get a 3, and that's a very creative number. That's about artistic creativity. Uh, Music, writing, artistic endeavors. Then 23 becomes a 5 again. So there's more 5 energy for you. And then your year of birth, when I add those up, you get a 6. The 6 is a very caring number. You're very concerned with your family, your close friends. There's Gayle. And a lot of times you're the glue that holds your family and the people around you together. Uh, Diane, I'll be happy to do numerology for you, but I will need the year. Gayle, will you pull a card for me? Let's see what you get for me.
I get playfulness. I had just pulled it out. I am a playful participant in life, and I always have the option to make something fun, a fun game rather than a heavy burden. Mary Poppins put sugar in the medicine for a reason. The lady really knows how to party. I think that's funny. I pulled out a card that said Mary.
Yeah, that
It's
can
compared to
also be
Mary Poppins.
telling me that I need to relax a bit more. Okay, so for Diane, your life path number is a 4. And we lost Gail again, but she'll be back in a moment. And hello to Joanne. So the 4 energy is a very disciplined and organized energy. You're all about structure. You're all about keeping things organized. Uh, Gail's back. Hardware would like an oracular message.
Okay, let me pull one out.
So, and that's what you're seeing with the 4. The downside to your 4, Diane, is you can get stuck in your process. We've always done it this way, so we're going to continue to do it this way, even if this way is no longer working. So you can dig yourself a rut so deep you can't see over it. And we're going to pause and let Gail give Caredware his message.
I pulled out of my Affirminator deck authenticity. Authenticity is the name of the game. Whatever comes up, I will feel it. Whatever needs to be said, I will say it. Whoever doesn't get it doesn't have to get it, but at least they know it because I've.
And she'll be back with you in a minute, Caredware. Meanwhile, Diane, your month, May, is the 5. I've been talking about 5 energy. So that is kind of a chaotic energy. It's thinking outside of the box, but it's also rebellion for the sake of rebellion. But in this case, I feel like it's balancing out your 4 energy. So if you can harness that balance, go ahead, Gail, while you're here.
Yeah. So basically, it was saying that you really need to speak up and speak your mind. You know, don't hold back anymore. Let it out. Were you agreeing with that message since I've been blanking in and out?
I went back to Diane while I was waiting on you to come back. So,
But that's what
Diane,
I've gotten for Kerweden. And I
5
hope
is
I
the
put that.
number of the night, folks.
Mhm.
So, Diane, I'm going to say balance your 5 and your 4 there and ride those two opposites energies, the very structured 4 and the very chaotic 5. Find that balance. Your date of birth gives you a 6. Your day of birth gives you a 6. So there's that family energy, being the caretaker for everyone. And then downside is we lost Gail again. She'll be back. Downside to that is you can be a doormat. Don't let people walk all over you. And with the year of your birth, that's a 2. And this is a energy that is very cooperative. It's a very diplomatic energy. You work well with others, but again, Gail, you're back.
Yes. The card I pulled for myself says spontaneity. I'm working on
Yeah,
spontaneity tonight, people.
and I hope y'all can see me because my screen's blank. There they are.
I
Anyway,
think
Diane,
Mercury
with
retrograde is messing with us uh, after the fact.
yes, anyway, with the 2 energy, it's also you need to stand up for yourself. So, be disciplined and organized, but know when it's time to drop the discipline and find a new way. Work well with other people, but don't be a doormat.
Yes, and Carweden, I am happy that you found value in that, even with all of us blanking out.
It's a 5 night, folks. It's a 5 night.
It,
All right, I'm going to add up Jenny. Does anybody want a message from Gail while I'm adding up Jenny? And I'll have to see it because can you still not see chat? We lost Gail. But if you want a message from Gail, put it in chat and I will see it and I'll tell her when she gets back. Thank you, everyone, for hanging out and dealing with the chaos. All right, Jenny, your life path number is the number 7. There's Gail.
I'm back.
Okay. No request for a message right now.
That's fine.
So Jenny, the 7 is the number of a deep thinker. You're deeply intellectual, deeply spiritual. You go deep, whatever your main interest is. And you can tend to be kind of solitary. So, your big challenge here is whatever you're working on, you need to make it relevant to other people. Coming up with a big answer doesn't do anybody any good if you don't find a way to share it. So it's easy with the 7 to get an ivory tower syndrome. Oh, and Caredware says, thank you. He has been working on that and he needs to speak up more.
Yes, and you know what you're
And Gail froze again. We'll be back with Gail in a minute. So, Jenny, with your number 8, that is the number of enlightened leadership. This is the sort of leadership of someone like a Bill Gates, uh, like a Steve Jobs, someone who can inspire other people with their vision. You can inspire other people to follow you. There's Gail.
pop in and out. I feel like bewitched. Wiggle my nose.
So, with that 8 energy, your downside, Jenny, is you've got great ideas and you're right to implement them, but be willing to listen to other people. They have good ideas too. Make space for other people to share their ideas and be a collaborative leader. And you've also got the two energy there. So again, that's a diplomatic energy. So that gives you more of pulling people in and building a successful team. And then with your year, that's the six. So that's about taking care of people, taking care of your family, taking care of your friends. It balances out your seven nicely. Just be aware of the tendency to be a doormat. And Sage says, somehow this chaos is fun and exciting. I just came out of a funk, so this is fun. Bless you, Sage. And I'm going to do your numerology next. And we lost Gail again. Ah! So I am adding up your life path number here, Sage. Here's Gail.
I am back. I will never forget my Ethernet cord again. Oh, goodness. One of the messages that I've really been getting for people is that right now is a time of manifestation, and we're all on the path right now to live in our life purpose. Okay. So, whatever it is, your life path that you talk about, Mary, whatever your personality numbers are, your readings, whatever it is that you're working on, now is it, people. Now is the time to step onto the stage, step up to the plate, and do whatever it is you've always wanted to do.
Hop on it.
Yeah, get on that train, get on the bandwagon, and start telling people, because that's the world we live in today.
And Gail froze. So, Sage, your life path number is 8. So, again, this is the number of enlightened leadership. You have the ability to get people excited about your ideas and bring them together. Uh, your month gives you the 5. So that gives you the thinking outside the box versus the rebellion. But you know what? There's a lot again that needs to be rebelled against. Hi, Gail. You're
Whoa.
back.
Yes, and we've got somebody from Australia.
Yay,
The
you can
land
see
down
chat
under.
now.
Yeah,
Hi, Tamara.
it takes them a while to show up.
And you are welcome, Jenny. I'm glad that helped. So, Sage, you have great ideas, a great way to lead. And the number 1 from your day of birth is also a number of leadership. This is more of an individual type leadership. And so number 1 is kind of like, I'm number 1.
Hmm.
And that can be a very much focused on myself. And I will joke about the downside of number 1 is Batman not having a bad day because he's not listening to anybody else. So just be aware of that. And then for your year, let me add that up right quick. And we lost Gail, folks. Gail will be right back with us. And that adds up to a 2. So that's nicely balancing out your 1 with a whole lot of the ability to collaborate. So there's an awful lot wrapped up in your date of birth, Sage.
I have a numerology question for you. Can I ask one?
You certainly can.
What about whenever you get recurring numbers all the time? You can look up angel numbers, but we think of it as magical numbers. So, what do you think about recurring numbers? What do those mean to people?
That is an energy that is very prominent in your life. And cared where I'm working on your date of birth right now. Uh, for instance, I have an 11 life path, and no, not my life path, my destiny number and my maturity number. And I tend to see 11. We lost Gail again, so she's not even going to hear all this. But I see the number 11 a lot. And it is just a reminder that I am here to teach and be a psychic. So if you see a number, if the universe is bringing a number to your attention a lot of times or all the time, then you're supposed to be paying attention to that number and the energy of that number. Okay. Did you
So,
hear all that, Gail?
no, no, I did not.
Okay, if the universe is bringing a number to your attention, then you need to be working with the energy of that number.
And I looked them up, but my thing is I always find angel number sites. Do you recommend a site to look up a recurring number that is not necessarily angelic?
Yeah, let me get my website up.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay, Caredware. Your life path number is 8. Lots of 8s. We got all kinds of leadership hanging out here tonight, folks. So again, you are here with a message to lead. And knowing what I know about you, I am not surprised at all to see that, given all your positions of leadership you have in the pagan community. You have, so the same things I've said earlier apply. You have the ability to inspire people. Just be sure you're making space to listen to other people and implementing their ideas. And then we got 2 number 7s here from your month of birth and from your date of birth. And I'm also really not surprised to see the deep thinker, the deeply psychic, going deep after our discussion of symbolism last night. So, again, the main thing to remember is whatever you are coming up with, don't hold it in. You need to be putting that information out so other people can use it. All the great thoughts in the world don't matter if you don't make them available. Yes,
Every
Gail,
time I pop in, you're saying that. It's all about deep thinking tonight.
it
That keeps
is.
repeating. It I think it's
Yes,
what our whole world is doing right now. We're all
we are
of
doing
our
a
minds
lot
that we
of
really
deep
care about.
thinking.
We
And we lost Gail again. And then finally, from your year, cared where you've got 3, the number, it's a number of good fortune, and it's about creativity, uh, arts, music, writing. The downside to the 3 is it can be easy to let your energy get undirected and unfocused. All right. Sage is Batman. You go, girl. Be Batman.
I just
Yes, let
everybody
that
needs to
light
be that.
shine. And I don't have the website up, but clearly I need to get to work on that. Tamara, I am working on yours. And since you keep seeing 1s and 5s, I would look into those energies of individual leadership and thinking outside the box.
I keep on seeing 111, 1111. I just different things about ones. I see ones all the times.
Do they read? Does it add up to 11? Because I know that's one of your numbers. I just don't remember which one off the top of my
I don't
head.
remember which one it is. I'm sort of opposite to you, remember? We're
I
very
do.
reflective of each other.
Yes, we are very reflective of each other. All right, Tamra, your life path number is the 3. So again, this one is all about creativity. Uh, music, writing, artistic endeavors. This is something you're going to be very good at. And if you're not doing it yet, you haven't found your voice yet. That's all. The downside to your 3 energy, and yes, we lost Gail, but she'll be right back. Here she is. The downside to your 3 energy is you can be unfocused with it. So, whatever you are working on, you must stay focused. Uh, with the 14, that adds up to a 5. We lost Gail again.
No,
There she is.
I'm back.
And with the 5, you've got the other kind of creativity, the thinking outside of the box and seeing things in a new light. So, taken together, those two are very powerful. Just, be aware of the rebellious, unfocused type of energy there. And you've also got the 2 energy, which, a lot of that tonight, but that's working well with others, being the diplomat, being able to get people to work together when it looks like they wouldn't. Just be aware of other people running you over. And then with the year of your birth, that reduces to another 5. So we've got even more 5 energy. All right. And Tamra shares she writes poetry and lacks some focus, and we lost Gail again. You are welcome, Caregiver, and Gail is back with us.
I am so sorry, people. We will not be doing this again. Okay, I promise. So I noticed that Tamara says 555. And 555 is something I see, and fives have been repeating tonight. Every time I pop
Fives
in, they're
have
talking
been
about five or a one.
repeating, and I'll just point out that we are seeing a lot of systems that need to be changed.
Oh, my astrologer friend says that that's all that's going on now. That's what the age of Aquarius is about. It's about the
Yes.
death of systems and the opening up of systems.
So there are many, many systems functioning in our society that
We're not
must be
functioning in our
changed or
society.
just done away with altogether and
Mhm.
something new brought in. And that is what the 5 energy will do. And I think we lost Gail again, but no worries. Gail will be back in a minute. So that is what the 5 energy is about. So if you are seeing 5 energies, think about what you can do where you are to affect positive change. And anytime I teach numerology, I always tell people there is no such thing as a good number or a bad number. The last time I taught a class, I had one lady said, "Oh, I must be bad. I've got 3 5s." And I said, "No, you're not bad.
Uh-uh.
You're here to cause change,
I
but
that's what
that's
I go around.
not bad."
No, no. People I people laugh at me because things are always changing around me. I think 5 is one of my laugh path numbers, if I remember correctly.
You have a 5 in your chart. I do not remember where off the top of my
Yeah.
head.
But I am a living, breathing catalyst for change. And that is not a bad thing. Our world needs change. We've been taught to fear change.
The thing is, well, Tamara, I am so glad you have joined us. We will be back next Friday at the same time. We do select Fridays, and we have not worked out our June schedule, but we'll know what it is next Friday. We're not able to do every Friday. Uh, and Sage has done an intake for an apartment with a 555 street number, and that may be coming for you. I've had several interesting street numbers over the years, and my current house reduces to a 9, so we finished up several cycles here. We'll be moving shortly to a house with an 11 street number.
That is fabulous.
Yes.
M-
So,
My new street number is 1338.
so that's a 6.
Is six good, bad?
Now, I just finished talking about it, but 6 is about family. It's about friendship. It's a loving, caring energy expressed positively. Expressed negatively, we'll think about every interfering mother in law you ever saw on TV.
Well, you see, you're going to have to come and help bless my land spirit so it will be loving and nice.
Well, I can do that. Yes, 11 is a master number. And Gail froze again. We are building a new house, and I've got a crystal already buried under the foundation, and we've done a blessing on the property, and we'll be doing more as they uh, complete it. And yes, when Gail gets back, I'm still showing she's got a very weak internet connection at the moment. I'm sure. Gail, can you draw a card for Joanne, please?
I will draw a card for Joanne, and I haven't heard anything about Joanne, so I am doing these new Affirminator cards. I really like them.
Affirminator.
Yes, look, they've got this lovely little unicorn on them.
Thank you, Joanne.
It's just
Cool. It's
a
a rabbit riding a unicorn.
yes, and it is don't take it personally. If someone starts to speak unkindly to me, I'll remember that they've got something going on that has nothing to do with me. Like maybe they just pooped their pants. Yes, that's probably it.
Oh,
I love these cards. These are so fun. But you know
this
what?
is now the poopy pants deck, Gail.
I'm telling you. Well, you were Mary Poppins. That was funny with these decks. But
And Gail froze again. She'll be back in a minute with more from the poopy pants deck. The Affirminator deck. I may have to acquire this one. And if you can't see chat, people are totally enjoying this deck, and Gail froze again. You back, Gail?
yes, but Joanne, what I was telling you is that you tend to get in your feelings, and sometimes you don't realize that it's just other people are having a bad day. It's not about you, it's about them. And so sometimes you have to release that. And so that was the advice that my cards were trying to say before the internet interrupted me.
And my screen's blanked. Here I am.
Yes, Sage. These are a cute deck. I just recently got them. They're affirminators. And
See,
they are self-help cards without the self-helpiness. That's what they say.
the
And
Affirminator deck.
yes, and I really like them. They are
Mm. The Affirmation deck on Amazon. Well, I found it. Affirminators. All right. And Gail froze again, but she'll be back with us in a moment. No worries. We're just having that kind of night. And I'm going to remember to sit here and jiggle my mouse because, maybe my computer's doesn't realize that I'm busy on a live stream. You would think that would count, but maybe it doesn't.
what
Hi,
is
Gail.
trying to call you now on top of everything else.
Let's see. So, does anybody else have another question for us? We're coming up on the top of the hour.
Yes. Are we
And
going to do we go till 10 tonight or are we going to 9?
we are going 1 hour. So that puts us at a
Okay.
dominator deck. Well, that's making me think of a deck that makes you do sit-ups, Joanne.
But I think it's funny. I have the Affirminator and she has the Abominator.
We are
But
going 1 hour tonight. We're not going to go any further.
no,
I want to.
I think both
I
of
think with our
technical difficulties.
technical issues, 1 hour is all we're going to ask people to hang out. I do want to thank everyone who has hung out with us, and Gail Froze, she'll be back, and our freezing internet, blanking out screens, cheerful chaos. Thank you so much for hanging out and going for this crazy ride with us. We deeply appreciate you, folks. And Gail will be back in a minute. You are so welcome, Joanne. Here's Gail.
Yes, I had a epiphany. Remember the old saying about the blind leading the deaf or deaf leading the That's what
Yes,
I feel like. You're sort of blind, you can't see, and I just fade out and I can't hear.
yes, yes. And the idea of a deck that gives you bad news reminds me of a business idea my husband and I kicked around at one point. Mean fortune cookies.
You know, one time we had the idea of I the, ringtones. I would love to do some ringtones.
I had a friend that had the, she's still my friend. At one point, she had this ringtone that started out with this ladylike ring, 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 ring. And Gail froze. I hope everyone else appreciates the humor with the ringtone that wound up screeching ring, ring at you. But yeah, we had this idea that we would make up evil fortune cookies that would say things like, you're going to get laid off. Your significant other is going to dump you. A bird is going to poop on your car tomorrow.
I just got to hear the punchline. I live in a place where birds do poop on your car, and so do trees because they ship pollen on top of the car.
Yes, yes, they do that too.
Uh,
Sage Phoenix appreciates us. Joanne is laughing. And Caredware says that is a trip.
Well, we are a testament to witches persevere.
Yes,
Yes. And you got to do it with some grace.
you do.
I mean, everybody has nights, but we're still here doing what we do.
Sage says, when you mentioned mean fortune cookies, somehow it made me think of Carla from Cheers.
I could see a mean for
And Gail froze again, but she'll be back. I'm the one who will sometimes say what shouldn't be said. I work remotely, but I'm on camera a lot at work. So on May the 4th, I wore my Yoda ears, and oh, they're still at my work desk, not here. But yes, I wore my Yoda ears to a work meeting on May the 4th with
May
my green hair
you went to a work meeting on May the 4th with green hair
and Yoda ears.
and Yoda ears. Strangely enough, my youngest child is born on May the 4th. However, I lost a day whenever she was born, and for years I argued with people and told them she was born on May 5th.
Yes, I have a headband with Yoda ears. It was a birthday present from my grandkids.
That is cute. And
Yes.
the May the 5th date was Cinco de Mayo. My
Hmm.
oldest daughter is born on June 19th, which is Black Liberation Day.
Yes.
We used to get
Oh,
people
and
at
there go
work.
my screens. I'm just smiling at the camera because it's still lit up. And Gail froze while my screens were out. So, yeah, this is Everything Psychic with Gail and Mary, the Chaos Mage edition. Thank you all for joining us. Joanne has said, poop fact of life. Love it. Gail is still frozen. My screen is still on.
I'm wondering if I should have turned my camera off so maybe that it wouldn't be having to download
Well,
video.
there's no point of doing this without video.
I know.
Yes,
Chaos
Chaos
edition.
Edition.
Yes, it is the chaos edition. But like I said, you watch two people that do it with grace anyway, because we're here for all of you guys.
Yes.
And we said we would be here, and so that's what we do.
Well,
I've really enjoyed this. Thank you, Sage. I'm glad that you
thank you,
guys enjoyed
Say.
it.
Well, I'm glad you've enjoyed it. It's been an interesting challenge.
Yes, I feel like we have done the witches version of Who's on First.
Yes.
But are we going to sign?
I think Gail was asking me if we're going to sign off now, but she just froze again. So when Gail comes back, I think we will sign off. We're close to the top of the hour here. And once more, thank you all for hanging out for Everything Psychic with Gail and Mary, the Chaos Edition, brought to you by the number 5 and Gail's missing Ethernet cable. You
Okay,
back?
back.
I just titled this The Chaos Edition, brought to you by the number 5 and Gail's missing Ethernet cable.
I so feel that.
Okay, and we will sign off now. Thank you so much for joining us. We will be back with you next Friday evening, same time, with an
Same.
Ethernet cable.
That's it. Later. Blessings to you.
Blessings, everyone. Bye bye.
Bye.